Welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Way. Co-hosting with me is Bill Hannon. How did I get that? Bill Hannon, and our guest tonight is, I'm doing it again, my brain's flipping around. Jean Mandeville. I'm having a senior moment.
Oh, okay.
It's SRT.
Yes, I know. Jean has studied SRT, that is called Spiritual Response Therapy. And it's quite, from what little I've heard of it, it's quite an experiential lesson to work with it. Tell me, what is it able to do?
Spiritual response therapy is a system of meticulously researching interferences and blocks that are running in the soul.
That's interesting.
It is, and I had a friend around 18 years ago that lives in Washington State. Highly recommend this method, which is a clearing of blocks and interferences. And
well, we've all got a few of those.
we all have a few. We have all kinds. And this particular man lived in Oregon. So I signed up for this experience, and he cleared me from Oregon and sent a report of what was cleared. And it felt the next week, and I am a sensitive person because I'm a medium, but I was a bit of a roller coaster the next week. I was up, I was down, I was releasing. I could feel that something had absolutely happened from this clearing. And I knew that I wanted to learn it. So eventually, several years ago, I think 8 years ago, I found an instructor that lived close enough to me in Massachusetts, and my journey with this method began. It's very interesting. So we learn to connect with our high self, which is the soul, and we initially learn to do the clearing within ourselves, and we practice that quite a bit. And then we come to clear within others. So my high self would connect with your high self, and the information would be researched. And there's over 32 charts of research, and it's quite a bit comes up to be cleared in the first clearing. With this method, it explains why we have been in repetitive cycles. Why can we try our best to be a good person and things keep happening to us? We read The Secret, which has a good amount of information as far as working with manifesting. But we try to think positive and things don't turn around. And it can be that we have more to learn in life of what to turn around, but it can also be that these blocks and interferences are running within the soul. So the research will say the negative words, the unpleasantness of what needs to be cleared. Are there programs? And programs are formed even within a lifetime. And most people that I meet believe in reincarnation and believe in past lifetimes. So if you look at the amount of experiences that we have from one lifetime alone, and that there's trauma imprints in there, and there's unresolved issues within there. Of course there is. It's life. So those turn up that they are there and need to be cleared. And this beautiful void occurs with the clearing of so much negative energy. And we replace it with blocks. We clear the blocks
Yeah.
to the positive expressions. And it can be positive expressions that there may be a block to, like love of life, love of men, love of women, love of self. And and there's many more. But there can be a block to such expressions that we have experienced it to some degree, but there's so much more to experience once that block is cleared. So why do we sign up for an experience like this? Is that for the difference that it can make. And it's not going to take away life's lessons.
No.
Because nothing can do that.
No.
We're here for those life's lessons. But it clears the interference energies towards passing the lesson, that we can resolve these lessons at a faster pace than we have.
And not bring them into the future.
Yes, and that requires conscious thought. We can reform a negative program in the soul. So, first of all, I want to let us off the hook for being human, because we have all the emotions that we can possibly experience, we have as a human. But we can train our brain and train our conscious thought. Let's take, for example, self-defeating thoughts. And I think that we all have them. So the moment that we find ourselves putting ourselves down, thinking negative of ourselves, placing a limitation on ourselves, that we, after a clearing, I work with the client and I see what patterns emerge towards what has happened in their life. And as I'm saying these patterns and they get identified, the client will be like nodding their head like everything you just said is what I'm going through and what I'm suffering from. So this beautiful clearing happens, and we want to make sure that we don't reform the patterns. So with the conscious mind, whatever our default ways of thinking are that are negative and really don't serve us well, that I tell my clients to gently catch themselves in that self-defeating thought, and then surround it with light and say, you no longer serve me, and to dismiss it. And then to bring in a positive affirmation of, I am worthy of perfect health. I am worthy of experiencing love and beauty in every day. I am a capable person. You know, all of those I am statements.
What I do is half of it for myself. When I realize I'm asking for something negative, and before I have a chance to manifest it, I say, no, thank you.
That's very nice,
and
beautiful.
just simply, no, thank you.
Right.
Well done.
Right. Well, it's also like in, you mentioned past life, you know, if you go through an experience in the past and you have an opportunity to see what it was that's creating, you know, issues in this time around, you know, it seems to be, you can do a healing once you recognize what it is while you're still in that awareness, to reaffirm and basically imagine the whole thing happening with a better outcome and locking that in. That sounds to me kind of what you're describing right here.
Yes, and I agree with all of that. And it was part of an SRT clearing is past life research. And I asked for a major influential lifetime that was negative, that has that ripple effect and a parallel to this lifetime.
Sure.
And what you ended that with is rewriting the script. Send research, send the healing, and rewrite the script. I had a shaman teacher that led us through exercises like that. And I think I've even heard in psychology that they use this technique.
Well, the woman who taught me that technique was actually taught by a Native American using that approach.
So it's a good method.
Yeah.
In that everything is vibration.
Yes.
So that vibration of rewriting the script somehow ripples forward, and I think brings comfort and I think some kind of resolution.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you've done past lives, you have the experiences. There's so many you can mention, but, that's not what we're here to talk about now, so.
but past life very much ties into it. And that one of the best days of my life was when I arrived at the Chichen Itza complex in Mexico. And even getting off of the bus, I was teary. And I was with one of my closest friends, and I said, something is really coming over me here. I'm like, something is like really touching my heart about being back here. And I lead past life regression sessions, and 3 different times I have been brought back to that lifetime.
I see.
At Chichen Itza. It was a major lifetime for me.
Yeah.
Where I was a priestess and I was in the observatory area of the complex. So I think that a good portion of our audience can relate to going to the place, and there's a familiarity, meeting the person, and the relationship is natural and like you've known each other before. So past life research is very much a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just interesting. It's nice to hear how you explain the blockages and being able to work through them or dismiss them, and then affirmations, and then you brought that into it. It resonated so well with me. I knew pretty much what you were saying.
It does take a while to learn this, though, to be able to use it practically.
Oh, it's quite a number of hours of training for this method. It is a devotion, and I have been considering applying for instructor level with it. It also will clear spaces. So, this is a workspace, and with a group like this, it also becomes a spiritual place. So the work that you're doing here with your show is adding high vibration, especially to this corner that we're in. But with our residences, any owner of that residence and every person who has lived in a space has contributed to an accumulating energy that is there. And it can affect the space. And I'm just getting this from Spirit to share this story. I had a friend who went to Amsterdam, who went to Anne Frank's hideout place.
Oh, yes, yeah.
In that, and she felt that Anne Frank's energy was there, and that she was assisting with the soul passing, fully crossing over. I shared that story with someone that I knew, and he said, I have a friend the year before who said the same exact story. So I began thinking about this, and I thought, what's going on here? And so my take on this is that when you have people going to this sacred spot, and they are thinking about everyone that was hiding out there, and of course Anne, so because of her diary, so many people think about her. I feel that it actually contributed to something called discordant energy. and it becomes all those thought forms become a thought form. So people can misread that as a spirit,
Right.
because I feel that Anne passed on just beautifully, and you know, it fully went to the immersion of love that is on that side. So there's just always the next thing to learn with this, and I enjoy that.
Right. I can understand what you're saying. It's like that frequency of those experiences that stick with that place can be picked up by different people, and they get the same awareness because it's the same vibration that you identify with what happened there, and you know, somebody else comes by and is able to pick up on that same frequency, and they interpret it the same way as you did. You know.
True, yeah. So would you like to see me demonstrate
Absolutely.
in this space?
Can't
Yes.
wait.
So this is, I ended up leaving my charts at home, so I said, okay, Spirit, we're going to need to do this. You're going to need to communicate with me. So many people have been in this room, correct? And it more than likely
Yes.
has probably never been cleared, or not to your knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So how about if I begin, but I'm going to invite you two to say imprints that you sense may be in this room. Because if you look at something like anger, someone may have just had an argument on the phone with someone, and then they come into this room to do
Sure,
some work.
sure.
So they're not necessarily got angry in this room, but brought that imprint. In metal holds energy. You've got the metal of the cameras, and so on, the lights. They accumulate the energy.
Right. This is a newer studio, so it's only been here, what, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and then a year and a half closed because of COVID.
Right.
So I'm going to start this off, and then I'm going to invite you two to say certain emotions, and it can be positive or negative, that you think might be in this space, just for a validation as part of this exercise.
Sure.
Alrighty,
Be
so
positive or negative?
yeah, things that you have picked up within this space. So and I ask the questions out loud. So Spirit, am I connected to my high self? Thank you. Am I prepped to work? Thank you. May we research energies that have been left in this place. Thank you. Okay, Spirit, begin giving me the energies. Give me several energies to be cleared, and then I'm going to invite the host in on this. Is that all right? Thank you. All right. So, Spirit, is the imprints of anger here? Yes. Confusion? Yes. Worry? Yes. Frustration? Joy? Creativity? Purpose? Thank you. And now I invite you.
For different energies?
Yep, things that you've sensed here.
I'm having a hard time.
How about like something like insecurity of somebody sitting in this environment?
I'm getting a yes on that.
Yeah.
Ego?
Ego, yes.
Ego, yeah. Very strong swing on that, by the way. There's a lot of energy came into that one.
Sure. You can see it.
Grief,
Yes.
because we've discussed death many times, you know.
Now
Right.
go ahead.
I was going to say, but I was going to say joy, but you've already said
Yeah.
joy because I can sense, I can feel it.
Okay, so obviously.
Relief.
Release and relief, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to name some things just because we're perceptive, so we're getting all yeses. So I'm going to say things that I'm hoping are wrong. So imprints of murder. See it's changed? No. Glad that it changed, by the way. Happiness. What's some other really tough things?
Deception.
No. So we've got an honest bunch coming here. This is good to know. So that's an example.
Positive intent.
See a change? Yes. So I'm going to ask for it to clear, and obviously the positives don't need clearing, but please clear. So this counterclockwise motion is of those energies clearing. Can you sense the shifting?
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel that?
Yeah. Coming right across here.
It did. So the pendulum is not doing the work. It is just showing that the energy is moving and clearing. Spirit, please tell me the positive beneficiary words and energies to bless this space with, because we just created a void of the negative within this room. And Spirit, correct understanding this corner had the most energy? Yes, it's not surprising. That makes sense. Okay, please bless this area with love, creativity, clarity, purpose, love of life. And often enough, you do feel the sigh of that coming in. So when, it just feels so good to sit in, doesn't it? So
Before, when I felt it, like when you're asking, did you feel that? I felt it going out this way. And when you were introducing the positive, I felt it coming this way, and that's what initiated the sigh. I just felt like I just had to fill up with it.
And Rary, I want to say every time I do a clearing, I do sighs. And that is part of it just seems to be part of the process. So when a client leaves me, generally what they can all say is they feel lighter and like weights have been lifted off of their shoulders. I had one client that needed to go take a 3-hour nap. After the clearing, they sense shifts within their life, and I feel the shifts that have happened in my life since the several years of doing this, and that there is more ease and more clarity and a groundedness. You know, I know that I feel better than 8 years ago. And there's a lot of factors in that, because it's also what we do with our conscious mind.
When you clear some of these things, you are better able to move forward.
Absolutely. And that frees up all those blocks and interferences towards passing that life's lesson. And you know, spaces can be cleared, interference energies in relationships can be cleared. People will say, when should I have my next clearing? And I say, when it feels right. So I have clients that are sensitive and they feel that bubble, the next bubble ready to be cleared come up, and it's much less of an amount of what needs to be cleared.
Yeah. Would you find fear is the hardest thing to clear? Because it keeps coming back to people.
With high self, nothing is difficult to clear, but there may be many layers. And if we had time, but I don't think we have time, I could research it, demonstrate a past life and do a clearing.
Yeah. Well,
She wants to know yes or no. What do you think?
we don't have too much time.
Yes, we're down about 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, so you know how there's speed reading, speed
Yes.
dating?
Yeah.
We're
All
going
right,
to
then do it.
speed research. On a life, my guides are laughing over this. Glad. All righty. So would either one of you like a past life researched?
One life that I had repetitive dreams about was someone I dated. And I started having the dreams again. I had them in childhood, then I had them after.
Okay, just let her do it then.
And his.
All right.
you
So
need
what,
his
do you want me
name?
to no? Do you want me to do that lifetime?
Yes,
All righty. So knowing that negative things are going to come up.
yes.
All righty. So I just want to validate. So correct understanding. This is in actual past lifetimes. See the big swing, big validation. Yes. Are there blocks and interferences to be cleared within that lifetime? Yes. Please let me know what some of them are. Okay, so I'm getting the words unrequited love, it not being resolved, things being out of your control, not feeling like you had a voice. And, all right, so I see the credits, so,
No, don't worry. We still have about 3.5 minutes.
oh, good. So Spirit, let me know what most needs to be cleared. Were they were in the same soul group? Are they both incarnated at this time? No. Is there still an energetic cord between them? Yes. Is it best to have this cord dissolved? Yes. Please clear. That was like 90 miles an hour, but I've done it a lot of times, so we could move fast on it. Now you would know more who, with a full clearing, it's who the cast of characters are, what's the environment. So please seal with love and completion and the feeling of resolution. Please, Spirit, seal this little mini clearing.
Yes. Please seal this mini clearing.
Do you happen to sense anything off the bat?
It's weird sometimes what I get. I see mountains of ice cream.
Joy. Joy. That's what I would say. You're a food lover too. Me too. I understand. I totally understand.
And if I got that image, I would just equate it to I used to own an ice cream shop. So,
You used to?
yeah.
Oh,
So a feeling of manifestation. You know, it's in a business and a part of your life. So there's a good completion, and it's a while to integrate too.
oh, I know.
It's not like totally on the spot, but nice to be with you both here today.
Yes, well, good to meet you,
Thank
Jean.
you for doing
Good to
that.
meet you.
Now, I'm going to ask,
Okay.
what's the best way for people to get in touch with your energy? Because you have a very nice way of presenting yourself, and I think people would be able to open up to you very easily.
Oh, thank you. I would hope so.
Yeah,
So to send me an email at jean.mandeville@gmail.com.
and is that with a, how's that Jean spelled?
JEAN
Yep,
dot
Yep.
MANDEVILLE
okay,
at Gmail.
okay, very good. Thank you,
You are welcome.
yes.
Thank you. We would love to have you come back again.
I will come back,
Okay.
Yes.
this time with charts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that would be
See?
fascinating to
There's always a
see
reason
it.
why things happen the way they do.
Well, I've learned to trust in that.
Yes, right. Very good.
Well, thank you for watching us. I hope you've enjoyed us. And we hope you'll come back again. And if you really have a desire to see us, and it's not the night of our show, we're on YouTube. Psychic Holistic Spotlight of Rhode Island. Oh, on Facebook.
And I am also on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
I have a few very small videos on there.
Sure.
And how can they reach you there, Jean Mandeville?
Jean Mandeville, Medium, Journeys with Jean.
That's it, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Excellent.
YouTube and the Facebook.
Okay.
I was trying to say, we're on both. We have a Facebook page and the YouTube channel. That's what I was trying to say, that we want that up. But
Yes.
we couldn't really